Hello, my lovely people. I hope you all are having a wonderful December. This is Charizze Treats Day 9, and in today's video, join me in setting up my sister's January 2022 bullet journal spreads in her new Archer and Olive dot grid notebook. If you want to see how I did her 2022 yearly BuJo spreads, I will provide the link on the video description so you can watch it later. And without further ado, let's get right into the setup. I want to make her first monthly spreads really special. I thought of doing something wintry, and I will be using these mystical winter stickers that I've not been able to use. For her January cover page, I will be recreating this winter forest jar sticker here with watercolors. And this will be the first time I'm painting something for her journal actually, which I'm also excited about. So I pre-cut a 300 GSM watercolor paper that will fit on the page. I will be using 2 paint brushes. They are nothing fancy, and my solid watercolors from Simi Art. As always, you can find all the links of the supplies and discount codes on the video description if you're interested in anything in particular. I secured the watercolor paper first with a masking tape. You can also use a washi tape if you have. I just prefer these kinds of tapes because they are very gentle, and I like to create clean, straight margins on this painting afterwards. And before painting, I always like to start with a good pencil sketch to get the proportions right. I'm just intensifying my sketch over here so you can see how big the jar is and the stag. Now for the painting process, I'm going to do a wash of subtle gray paint all over the paper. Well, not actually all, but I just avoided the part where the stag is because I don't want that area to be really wet, and I don't have the patience right now to wait for it to dry. But if you have a blow dryer, that would be easier for you and it will save you time. And while the bottom area of the jar is still wet, I added an olive green mixed with gray. If you don't have olive green on your palette, you can mix your green with brown or red. And then I'm blending the pigments left on my brush all the way up. I could have added some more gray or black paint into it to make it a little darker, but this looked pretty fine for me. Then I'm just defining the shape of the jar with gray again, and you can see me adding another layer of green paint on this area after it dried. Moving on to painting the stag, I started with a light brown color and then slowly adding a darker shade while keeping the areas that I think the light hits to make it look somehow dimensional. I'm using the same shade for the antlers, and finally the small details like the eyes, nose, and hooved feet with black paint. Next is the pine trees. I took a very light mix of green and gray paint to make the tree at the back look like a shadow, and then the tree on the front is darker. I actually struggled with this one because I was not able to get the color that I want, so I wasn't really happy with this tree, but it still looked fine as a whole. After that, I painted a flock of birds and some snow using a white gel pen. You can skip this next step, but I just wanted to add some more details around the jar, so I added several snowflakes using gray paints. And that is it for this winter jar cover page watercolor illustration. I then attached it here on the left side of the spread using a double-sided tape, and then on the right side I'm writing the monthly title in a cursive font using my Tombow Fudinosuke hard tip brush pen. Below it, I added a mini calendar using a fine liner. And lastly is this sticker of pine trees under the calendar. And we are finally done with this whole cover spread. Now we can move on to the next pages. On the left page is where her January monthly log will be. On top of this page, I simply wrote January, and then using these acrylograph pens from Archer and Olive as well, I will be laying out the calendar itself. I'm using the moss green for a thick background for the days of the week, and then this sky blue for double horizontal lines for the dates. The dimensions for this calendar is 21 by 16 dot spaces. After writing all the days and dates for the month of January, I continued to the bottom part of this page and drew a rectangular frame wherein she can write her goals or focus for this month on the left part of it, and on the right side is a little decoration for this page. I painted the background with the same gray paint mixed with some green, and when it is dry, I added the pine tree and fox stickers on top of it. I was also thinking what else to put on the space above the calendar, so I decided to add a flock of birds to kind of fill in that space. And next, on the other side of the spread is her habit tracker, starting again with the title on the opposite side of the calendar title to balance it out. And then I drew 6 small boxes for her habits with 9 by 6 dimensions. And a bigger portrait frame on the title area for a little decoration as well later on. I filled in the first horizontal space of the boxes with the moss green acrylograph pen as well to tie everything together, and wrote all the habits on top of them using a white pen. What I love about acrylograph pens is that they dry quickly, so you don't have to wait for a long time before adding something on top, and they are opaque paint pens with a beautiful matte finish. Then I completed this tracker with a decoration with the same approach that I did on the focus section by painting a background with gray and green paint, and added the sticker version of the painting we did for the cover page. I also forgot to add the snow details here, and I just realized that I should have used the white acrylograph pen because it shows better than the gel pen. And that is it for the monthly calendar, focus, and habit tracker. I hope you like this simple spread as well. Now we can flip through the next page and create her first weekly spread. I'm writing the number of the week on this area of the spread and a mini calendar as well under it. I'm also adding a task list section aligned with it. This will serve like a master to-do list for the week. I think it's a great way to see all the tasks she needs to get done at once and later on designate them on a specific day. On the far left is a section for important weekly events wherein I just drew a vertical box and divided it into 7. I also added some stickers on the top and bottom of that box and a stag sticker just beside the task list title. If you are someone who uses stickers on your bullet journals, well, I do agree it really saves you time to decorate your spreads, especially if you don't usually do painting or drawings. Okay, next thing I did here is drawing 7 boxes for the dailies with 11 by 7 dimensions, and then I filled the daily backgrounds with the sky blue acrylograph pen this time. I'm writing the days and dates with a fine liner afterwards, and lastly a couple more stickers on the space left here, a pine tree and a polar bear completed with a drawing of flock of birds. And that finally finishes this whole January 2022 bullet journal setup for my sister's BuJo. Now that we are done with the spreads, it's time to talk about our Charizze Treats Day 9 giveaway, which is an Archer and Olive A5 dot grid notebook of your choice. And just like the previous Archer and Olive giveaways, you can choose the design you would like as long as it is in stock from their website. It is free to enter and is open internationally, so check out the description box for the link to see what you can win as well as the full giveaway rules. I hope you guys enjoyed this mystical winter bullet journal theme setup. I know the spreads apart from the cover is very simple, but if you are a beginner and is overwhelmed by elaborate bullet journal setups like mine, I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't want to miss our last 3 Charizze Treats video, I recommend turning on your notifications, and I will see you on day 10th. Bye!